fantasy, caught in a landslide, no escape from reality.
Hey guys, Underground Geek here. So I got another video for you guys. This is Mera, Queen of Atlantis, #1. It's a 6-issue miniseries. DC's doing a lot of these 6-issue miniseries, and I think Marvel should be doing the same thing instead of making like whole runs. You don't need 13 issues of a character nobody really cares about. They need to be 6-issue minis. But this one's a little bit different. I knew it was going to be different because Mera's getting her own comic. You know, she's a different character than Aquaman. She's not the same. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I wasn't that impressed with this movie, or with this book. I don't know if it was just because I was expecting something different. It's got a lot of cool concepts in it. It's got a lot of cool things that can happen later on. But this first issue, of course, was like a world-building issue to get you started, introductory. So, of course, it had a lot of talking and just kind of droned on. The covers are great. The original cover is great. The variant cover by Art Gem is great. I would say that the villain in this book is much more interesting than the main character, if that makes sense. Orm is one of the foreboding villains in this book. He is like, he's changed his ways. He's now a dad with a family. He's got like a stepson and a new wife. They love each other very much, and he sees Mera on TV and sees the things going on in Atlantis, and it triggers something inside of him. Well, he you know, has a little bit of a fit. His wife asks him if anything is wrong. He says, I'm fine. I'm with you. My life is with you. And then we cut to Mera, and Mera is not the same right now. Mera is weakened. She was hurt during the events of Aquaman, and she can't even breathe underwater right now. So basically she's at half strength, and this guy named the Eel shows up. He is a villain that's been in other comics before. Kind of remind me of Ink on Batman Beyond. But he's attacking her. Apparently he's been hired to kill her. And he has aquakinesis just like her, which is a perfect villain to fight her in her weakened state. And he's a surface dweller. He's not an Atlantean, so it's even better. So they're fighting. Mera's actually, you know, doing pretty good, but she's still getting her butt handed to her. I like how they try to make her like not too strong, you know, just not like overpowering. Because Eel pretty much has his way with her until they're at the point to where he's almost beaten her, and she starts remembering her past. Remember how she's trained every day of her life, how she's been raised to be a warrior, and then how she was always felt helpless and had to, you know, do things for herself. And then she gets the idea to pull a quick move on Eel and is able to take him down quickly without having to drag out the fight at that point. She needed to one-hit KO him because she can't last. She takes care of him, gives him to the Justice League, and when the Justice League shows up, they start asking questions like, first, you know, why is she fighting this guy? What's going on in Atlantis? And she starts explaining everything, and the fact that she is now a queen in exile until Wraith is gone. And so they're kind of, you know, they're trying to be like helpful friends, or saying, you know, can we help? You want us to go down there and fight for you? And she says, no, you know, Aquaman needs to fight this for himself because Atlantis needs an identity. They need a hero that will fight for them, so he needs to do it on his own. And I can't help him right now. I have to stay up here. And so then at that point, she goes to meet with the State Department in Washington, D.C. and starts talking about, you know, a embassy between the U.S. and Atlantis, which is something that Arthur's been trying to do for a long time. She realizes that she can't fight for him, so she's going to fight for him a different way, if that makes sense. But this conversation drags on for like 3 pages, and I'm just at that point. So then she dreams about being married to Arthur and how they could live their life. We know that's not going to go that way. So then she goes to a lighthouse, and you know, which is the lighthouse, I think, close to where, yeah, it says, this is a place where we're going to spend our lives as husband and wife. No kings and queens, just 2 people in love. So she's still got her hopes up for it. And then we cut back to Orm's house again, and I don't really see people doing this, but his wife and kid are outside running around in the rain during a thunderstorm. And he's watching them through the window, and they're like, come out here, Daddy, play with us, And he said, I will be there soon, young one. He said, now that he's found it, he can't bear the idea of ever leaving it, which is his family. He said, but it's time to go. And then he sees his reflection in the window, and he's dressed as Ocean Master. So he knows he has to go. He knows he has to fight at Atlantis. But it makes you wonder, is he going to fight for the good of Atlantis, or is he going to go down there and try to take it over again? Because we know, I think this is Arthur's brother. I think that's what it is. Yeah, so he's obviously got super strength like Arthur. So you don't really know how that's going to go, and it kind of leaves you on a cliffhanger of what's going to happen next in the issue. But like I said before, it was just a very boring issue. It had some good bits of action here and there, but then the talking and stuff and the world building just, didn't really get my attention. I know that that's the point of the issue. You're supposed to build the issue up. You're supposed to develop characters and things like that. So I can't really knock it. It's just not my cup of tea. When I read Silencer and Sideways and things like that, it was much more my speed because they moved quickly, developed the characters on the fly, and you just kind of roll with it. But I do see the building here. It felt very much like a DC movie, the way they build the characters. And the fight scene between Mera and Il was pretty cool because, you do get to see her, how she interacts and how she fights. Dan Abnett's not a bad writer, so I can't really knock him. There were a few issues with the art. Every now and then the faces would look really distorted and out of place. But for the most part, it was really good art. So I gotta give them props on that. And the cutscenes were really cool too. They made it look like the past. And made Mera a more interesting character. So yeah, I definitely would give it a read. The issue's probably like a 7.5 out of 10. So, very readable compared to what Marvel's putting out right now. The characters actually sound like characters and have personalities, so you can't fault them for that. But I hope you liked this video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It's a short little review because there's not a whole lot to talk about when it comes about this book. It's Mera. She's trying to be queen in exile. So, but I would suggest reading it. And there's other books I want to read too. Let's see what I've got here on the DC side to read. I want to read. Silencer 2. I want to get through that. I've already read The Terrifics. I got the review up on that. It's awesome. Wonder Woman is a very good book as well. You wouldn't think it would be, but it is. Oh yeah, and I see Imaginary Fiends #4 is out. I'll have to read that later. Imaginary Fiends is really good. It's a Vertigo book, and it's very fun. DC has started making like these Vertigo books, and probably 1 out of the 3 that they have right now I like. Motherlands is trash, and there's another one that's trash as well. But this one's pretty good, and Imaginary Fiends is very fun. Raven, Daughter of Darkness 2 is out. I'll probably read that too, but I'm just not that fond of the character. But alright guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You can support me on my maker support. And I would really, like that. It goes towards my original content, my comic book that I'm doing right now. I don't really know, kind of hung up on it right now, but that happens when you're making books. So just keep trying to do it. But thanks guys, Underground Geek out.